Nvidia pulls a move that is good for the consumer. Volkswagen makes the worst rebranding decision that I've seen in quite some time, and the Louvre. Getting into NFTs? Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your host, Brett. We're gonna be going over the hottest tech news that I could find on the internet, and we're gonna be starting off with Nvidia doing the unexpected in something that's actually beneficial for the consumer, which is they enabled GPU pass-through for virtual machines on Linux. And this is a big deal because people have been wanting this for ages, and something that Nvidia has only pushed to their higher end lineup. If you wanted to use VM pass-through with Nvidia, you had to do so on their higher end Quadro or Tesla cards and not on the GeForce cards. So this is something that Nvidia just rolled out. A lot of people weren't really expecting it. It's just now available, with one of our Discord members saying, finally, this is a big deal because it'll allow people who actually run Linux to get the full use out of their GPU on anything that they might be running virtually with Windows. Let's say they want to play video games and they wanted to get the full experience out of that. Well, they can just boot Linux onto their integrated GPU and then run the pass-through gaming GPU over to Windows so that they can get the full experience of their PC. However, I will note that you could do this previously, but as it's noted over on the Phoronix forums, it created all sorts of compromises, and pretty much every GPU pass-through tutorial starts with, if you have Nvidia, see also the other 128 steps and hope that certain stars are aligned. Now, it should just be made simple with Nvidia from Kepler on up with the new drivers that Nvidia announced yesterday. Why is Nvidia doing this? We don't really know. AMD's kind of been doing it for ages, which is why AMD was always a more preferred Linux option, because you could do VM pass-through with that. However, there's also some speculation that with Intel coming up with their GPU releases that might be coming out sometime soon, and them supporting GPU pass-through, Nvidia realized that they can't use it as an upsell opportunity anymore. When the lesser competition has it as a base model feature, you kind of maybe want to consider rolling it out to keep them under your thumb. I know it's always under your thumb. It's your phone. And that brings me to today's video sponsor, because today's episode of Hot News is brought to you by the new and improved hotnews.ting.com. Cutting your phone bill in half has never been easier with Ting Mobile's brand new plans. You can get talk and text for only $10 a month, and data plans starting at $15 and unlimited from $45. It's an incredibly good deal. And they have their Flex plan, which is their pay for what you use pricing model, but it's just cheaper. It's $5 per gigabyte, and like always, data usage is shared across all your devices. So the more phones on one account, the less you pay per device. So whether you're using 2 or 20 gigabytes, there's a perfect Ting plan for you and your family, and you get access to the best nationwide coverage in America, as well as Ting's award-winning customer service if you need help, whether that's on call or even on Discord. And pretty much any phone will work on Ting, whether it's the latest iPhone, the latest Galactic series, or even Pixel devices. You can just bring your number over and you're ready to go. And it's super simple to switch. You just go to hotnews.ting.com, check your current phone, create an account, and pick the plan that's right for you, and Ting will send you a SIM card that you'll pop into your phone and activate in minutes. The next generation of Ting Mobile is here, and you can see how much you can save at hotnews.ting.com and get $25 off your phone bill today by using our link down below. Big thanks to Ting for sponsoring today's video. And while we talked initially about how Nvidia did the unexpected, Intel did the expected yesterday. We got the Rocket Lake release. Everything's available. You could potentially buy some of these on Best Buy and Amazon. They're actually out and available, unlike a certain Ryzen 5000 series. However, the reviews obviously bring up the question of how good is it? We'll leave links in the video description, as always, to the Video Cards Review Roundup, where you can see all of the reviews that are basically out there. And a lot of people are expressing that it's not really all that impressive, but also asking the question, is it the world's fastest gaming processor? To which the answer is no. It's lower performance than Zen 3 and the previous 10th gen Intel, which is kind of rough. But don't fret, in case you were expecting that Intel's Rocket Lake was gonna be amazing and you were heavily waiting on it, I've got good news from you from The Verge, okay? Intel's 11th gen Core i9 processor boosts Microsoft Flight Simulator by 20%. So if you're only into Flight Simulator, then the 11th gen is for you, and that comes from their sweeping benchmarks that they do with a 3090's Founders Edition and 32 gigs of RAM, and they tested out Flight Simulator and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, so you know they're reputable. That is the fullness of their 11900K review. Thanks, Verge. But in case 20% Microsoft Flight Simulator is not good enough for you, G.Skill is upping the game by announcing DDR4 5333 MHz for the Z590 platform in case you want to go 16 gigs. In case you want to get 32 gigs, you'll have to step on down to 5 1666 megahertz, but that's some speedy RAM from G-Skill. But overall, I would say that Intel's launch of Rocket Lake yesterday went down kind of like the SpaceX launch of the SN11, which blew up. And not in a good way, not in a predicted way. In fact, it didn't even make it to the ground, the SN11 going up, but then apparently one of the rockets was actually faulty on the way up and then on the way down, and it had a little bit of issues and exploded. And essentially you could see the debris raining down amidst the fog on the Starship live stream that was happening. At least Elon Musk said that it cratered in the right place. Hopefully this one doesn't crater, because Virgin Galactic announces its Spaceship 3, which looks like the Naboo Starship from The Phantom Menace, but it's actually really beautiful. You can check out their reveal video that they put on their YouTube channel right down here. And if you're wondering how in the world are you ever gonna pay to get on a Virgin Galactic spaceship, my friends, it's easy. Crypto billions. You're gonna be a crypto millionaire, and now you can pay for it through PayPal, with PayPal now letting users pay with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin starting today. You can buy and sell cryptocurrencies directly from their account, with PayPal rolling out the checkout with crypto feature within their wallet, allowing you to now make payments with Bitcoin. Obviously, this isn't the first one to do it, but PayPal, obviously a heavy hitter in the payment processing industry, at least in the US. So this could be potentially big news for anybody who's actually trying to get the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies out in the open in order to buy NFTs, which I have to believe is the next stage of the Louvre, because they've made their entire museum collection available online. They are not officially launching NFTs, but as I would expect, especially with all of the comparisons about how NFTs are basically just like the digital Mona Lisa, man, and you have the original, so it's gonna be great. Somebody's gonna NFT the Louvre digital art, but it's not gonna be the Louvre, and that shows you just how ridiculous NFTs are. Just because it's a certified token doesn't mean you actually have the certified art, okay? The thing the token unlocks is not the token itself. Whenever you buy an NFT, you're not buying the original of anything, because that's not how digital collection works, okay? It's certified, but that doesn't mean it's authentic. Just because I certified that I'm Brett from Hot News, how do you know I'm real? You don't. Okay, I'm just a digital recreation. I'm not human to you. I'm a pixel on your screen, a set of pixels, thousands even. Okay, just because it's verified doesn't mean it's the real deal, friends. That's Brett's NFT rant of the day, which, as much as I can rant about NFTs, Bitcoin finally doing something with its life, up 2% on the day, nearly $59,000, almost crossing over that 60 barrier at some point during the day. And GameStop almost breaching 200 again, up 8.26%. The GameStop Bitcoin update is now excited. It's back, probably with all the Bitcoin news of PayPal that helped to drive some of this up. And Tesla wants to drive up the economy for the location where its Gigafactory Texas is going to be, because they posted over 50 job listings for Gigafactory Texas, which is going to be the site of the production of the Cybertruck, so that should start rolling out. There's been some rumors going around the mill about how the Cybertruck might potentially be starting to see production in June and then actual deliveries sometime at the end of this year. But apparently Volkswagen couldn't hold out for April Fool's Day. It's just tomorrow, friends, because they are rebranding their entire company, at least in America, from Volkswagen to Voltswagen to symbolize their transition to electric vehicles. We might be changing out our K for a T, but what we aren't changing is this brand's commitment to making best in-class vehicles for drivers and people everywhere. This is, what do you think of this down below? I can't even, this is so disconnected. Volkswagen, I just can't even with them, because here's how you do it, Volkswagen. Let me give you a PR strategy, especially when things get announced so close to April Fool's Day. You announce something on April Fool's Day, just like Razer announces fake products at CES. You see what the general response is, and then you potentially commit to it, okay? The fact that you thought this was a good idea tells me your head is not in the right place when it comes to running your North American brand. This is just... This is cringe. This is cringe humor. This is dad joke level type thing. Okay, say this on April Fools, and if everybody loves it, you roll it out. But given the response I've seen on Twitter, roll it on back. Just slurp that tea back into your mouth.
Hey guys, Robot Brett here with an update. Volkswagen is now admitting that their name change is actually a joke, despite previous lies where they said it wasn't a joke. Ha 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 ha.
But you want the real tea on Resident Evil 8? Huh? You want the giant 9-foot lady mama, whatever her name is, choke slamming you up against a wall? Well, apparently there's gonna be a game mechanic that allows you to build walls so that the wall that you build is the one that she's choke slamming you up against. This was brought to you by thirsty gamers of the internet, and removing the thirst from my hype in gaming, Kingdom Hearts is now on PC, Epic Game Store releasing that, and it's gonna have faster loading time, unlocked frame rates, which is great, and Epic Game Store rolling out a sale on all of that. And even if you pre-ordered it, they'll give you a partial refund for the price difference. So you don't have to worry about the sale coming out right before the game launch so that you lost a little bit of money. You got it. This guy's so upset. If you pre-purchased, you're gonna get the refund. And I can't refund you for any of the time that you spent watching Hot News with me, but I would suggest that you spend more. Watch yesterday's episode of Hot News right there. You can check out the video we released on UFD Tech yesterday, where I surprised my dad with a brand new gaming PC after I broke into his office. Check that out. See you tomorrow.